Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Series is The Emerging Professional, and today's theme is very exciting navigating the crypto frontier blockchain visionary. So, we have with us our guest speaker, Gaurav Mehta, a dynamic entrepreneur, co founder, CEO of Catex. Gaurav brings with him an extensive experience in crypto and blockchain auditing, forensic auditing, regulatory compliance. He has made significant strides in demystifying the complex world of cryptocurrencies for both businesses and government agencies. So, today's conversation, we unravel this ever evolving industry of crypto and blockchain. So, Gaurav, we have a format. It's divided into three rounds: the professional, personal, and the rapid fire round. So you have to be very quicky, funny, and witty, and you get to win this book. Is your organization cyber healthy? I'm author of 13 ebooks.
Thank you, Amirji. Thank you for having me on this conversation.
Okay. So, friends, I'm Lion Ahmed Virani, your host for the day, and a legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution. So, let's begin our round. So, for the professional journey round, my first question: what excited you to go into blockchain and cryptocurrency, and how has the journey been till date, Gaurav?
That's very touching question because I remember when I got into the space, my beard were black. Now it's on the verge of getting white. So almost here for 11 years now. That's hard to believe how quickly that passed away. But when I look back, I remember a young chap who was aspiring to be UPSC aspirant. He was preparing for the exams and everything. And one day out of blue moon, somewhere he read about article of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and instantly the mind exploded. For him it was like obvious that the crypto and the blockchain is going to change the world. So I had to take the biggest decision of my life: should I continue the journey or should I take the road less traveled? And today here I am.
Wow. Okay. So now, uh, what is the story behind the name Catex, and uh, what are the significant challenges you have faced in building brand Catex?
So, well, Catax stands for crypto asset taxes. We have assets like diamond, land, gold, silver, all those things. Now, cryptocurrencies are the new emerging asset class that are being recognized gradually by everyone across the industry and the world. Now, when we talk about the taxes, these are recognized by the government as a credible investment class now in most of the countries. So taxes are obvious or the logical step because the government is not going to leave the capital gains done by individuals on that. But when we reach out to the industry participants, primarily CPAs, chartered accountant, and all, they do not have any insights or they do not have any of experience or understanding of this new domain. So that created a huge vacuum for entrepreneurs or especially for young techie folks to build something that bridges the auditing and taxation gap in this new economy. So think in this way. There are books, there are like your balance sheet, there are conventional books. So if you have to interpret them, you go to chartered accountant, you go to CPAs, you go to investment banker, you take a degree and you learn to interpret those books. Now, whole new transactional books are created on blockchain where not just cryptocurrency, your assets are transferred, your virtualization land is transferred, and everything else. But the conventional education does not equip us with the knowledge to audit all those ecosystem. So what has happened? The government has not received taxes. The chartered accountant have not been able to serve the cryptocurrency or blockchain auditing economy, as well as the individual who are investing. They have got into the pain. So that's where it was pretty much obvious to me because if I look back, I remember coining the term Catax in 2015, but the market was very immature at that point of time. So what I decided to continue my practice in the domain. So for the viewers, I got into cryptocurrency in 2013, and by 2016-17, I was working with a law enforcement agency because there were cases coming up. There were a lot of businesses that were indulged in the cryptocurrency. So I got into the practice of what we call forensic auditing or blockchain auditing. So I continued that with various state and central agencies. So when in 2022, Government of India came up with the crypto taxes. So it was obvious to us that why don't we establish the entity right now? So we did that. But prior to that, we were called by various government departments to help them with their objectives, to provide insights. We were well-known practitioner in the space who not only understood the cryptocurrency, but also had a hands-on implementation of various goals on behalf of different departments from police, law enforcement, whether you call it Narcotics Control Bureau or anybody else. So that brought some credibility to us, and that's how we got confident, okay, we can usher into the chartered accountants or bookkeeping or accounting taxation space as well. So, yeah.
Wow, interesting journey dealing with different digital currency, which is now the norm all over the world. So, how has ye, uh, Indian business owners, sorry, Indian corporates have adapted to this type of digital currency, the cryptocurrency, and what safety measures should one take for dealing with this new type of digital currencies or assets?
So in India, the situation has been a little bit jittery. The government, at the same time, they have implemented taxes, but they haven't regulated. So for individual investors, the space is open for them to hold crypto, invest into crypto, speculate in crypto, however you want. But there has been restrictions for the corporates mandating them not to hold any cryptocurrency, especially for MCA registered entity. So far, we haven't seen, I would say, formally a lot of mutual funds or any other wealth manager formally getting into the space. Otherwise, HNIs from the family offices, they have definitely indulged into the cryptocurrency investment on their own. So that's the state on this side. But there are hundreds and hundreds of businesses that are being built upon the core technology on which cryptocurrency relies, which is blockchain. So we have seen far more adoption of the blockchain compared to the cryptocurrency in India. So blockchain as of today is not just used by the private entity, it is even used by the government across the countries. So there has been a lot of implementation of the blockchain project from the government of Madhya Pradesh. Thereafter, there has been speculation that DigiYatra also uses the blockchain technology on the ground. Apart from that, telco industry or the telco department has implemented decentralized ledger for the SMS verification and all. Now there is something called Consent Foundation, which is coming with a blockchain for consent management or DPDP regulation. So when we talk about it, same like, okay, there is an e-commerce and there is an internet. So there has been limited adoption of the e-commerce, but internet has been growing in India. Same is the case. There is a limited adoption of cryptocurrency because of the taxes or unregulated status or the protection of the investors' money. But everyone is too much enthusiastic about the potential of the blockchain, and the implementation is taking every day.
So now, what are the government regulations or safety nets? Can you share on these aspects for our listeners over here?
So the government has clearly said one thing, okay, cryptocurrencies are unregulated. Therefore, it's up to your discretion whether you want to indulge or not. So none of the entities, whether RBI, SEBI, or a finance department, or anybody, none of the department has given the privilege or given the authority to regulate or monitor this. So that's the ground status, because still we do not know whether that is a currency or that is a technology or that is an asset class or that is a security or something new. So we are still figuring it out, or the government specifically is figuring it out, where does the cryptocurrency fit in. On basis of that, the department would be given responsibility. That does not equate to a total vacuum in the market. All the companies that are doing businesses around cryptocurrency and with cryptocurrency, they have to adhere to the local laws, which includes your compliance activity regularly throughout the year. With that, the government has notified cryptocurrency under PMLA. Therefore, the businesses that are transacting in the cryptocurrency or facilitating the business, they have to be FIU registered. FIU is a financial intelligence unit that comes under the ministry. So they provide the intelligence to the government on basis of whatever be their goals. So I would say it's not like a very clearly regulated, but yeah, it's enough to be regulated for the customer confidence so that they can engage with the businesses. So that's on the regulation side. On the businesses side, business has been very proactive in terms of self-regulation. They have been looking at what the giants in the US or Europe are doing, and they are trying to replicate the same activities in India. So they have their strict AML compliance, they have CFT compliance, they do proper diligence of the accounts, they monitor the transactions from where the cryptocurrency is coming, going, and that space is evolving. So yes, it's not absolutely regulated, but it's on the path of being regulated.
So my next question will be that this kind of very interesting this topic because there are good sides and bad sides. So now let me. Someone has built up a huge cryptocurrency assets. So how does one transfer those assets, or sometimes it happens like in a will, you can mention that these are my assets. What about this crypto or digital assets? How do we mention in the will?
In the will, that's very interesting question, because cryptocurrency holding can be in the various forms. For example, if I am having a gold, I mean, we should not get confused with the word cryptocurrency. Think of it as a gold, physical gold. If I have a gold with me myself, I know once I'm gone, my family is going to take over from the safe. That's pretty much obvious. If they don't know the password, then that is a problem for them. Likewise is the cryptocurrency. If I am a owner of the cryptocurrency, I have my own wallet, whether it be somewhere hidden in mobile or laptop or anywhere else. I need to communicate it to my potential nominees. Hey, two sons or two daughters or anybody else, this is why key, this is my crypto. Maybe once I have passed, you can take care of those. That is one of the way how the ownership is passed to the next generation. Now, when you are having your assets on the exchanges, let's say I have a gold and I have kept it in the bank vault. Now in bank vault, I specifically define them, hey bank, if I'm gone, please mark my son as my nominee, and they would be coming and collecting from you. So is the case with the crypto assets. So if you're buying crypto on the exchanges, exchanges provide you with a mechanism to nominate someone on your behalf. So it's same thing.
Okay, but nominee or doesn't become the owner. So like I'm working on this project of wills, trust and probate. I've also made an ebook, a handy book uh, for persons who want to make a will but are shying away. Yesterday, I was watching a serial. This famous serial is there, Sumit Sammal Lega, which is an old comedy serial where this episode was there. I was watching on Sumit's wife is making a will. He was talking about why will Yamraj ko kyun bula rahe ho? So Sumit's elder brother comes in. He is a police inspector and says, "Bhai, I have made my will. It has to be कि भाई समय के पहले अपने को कर लेने का हर चीज according to time we should do it." So now my purpose of working on this project, I'm part of a Lions Club, so we are going out with seminar and with this book to educate people why wait for 60 years. You can start from 25, you can start at 40, because now youngsters are building up assets, so they should start making a will, register it. So I'm just going off the topic also, because now this nomination, you don't become the owner. I was part of legal experts group, so where they are saying that by nominee is not, if someone is mentioned by this other person, nominee A, beneficiary B, then what will happen for in case of crypto assets?
Correct. So this is where the existing laws need to be interpreted, because when we look at the existing property law, they clearly define who is the owner, who is the nominee, who is the bloodline, who is not in the bloodline, everything else. Now the same question comes in two ways to interpret. One is on the legal aspect. We do not know whether the crypto is even property or not. So we do not have a specific answer to that. Okay, how they would be defined and how the ownership would be coming in. So that's on the legal part. On the taxation part, again, you are perfectly right, when I'm a nominee, I'm just acquiring the new asset. Is it a gift to me, or I am a legal hire to it? I don't know. If that scenario is even not clarified, then again new taxes liability would come into my place even after acquisition. The third thing is coming where the practicalities or the implementation on the ground is concerned. Exchanges have the custody of your cryptos. And once you have given them someone as a nominee, they are more than happy to pass over the crypto to them. Okay, so that works on the exchange level. Now, the beauty of this technology is that the cryptocurrency are programmable. By that, we mean today I have a cryptocurrency. I can write a smart contract and I can say that on 28th December 2040, the money should move to two different wallet address and it should be divided into 50-50 on its own. So the smart contract is capable of executing itself on a certain period of time or date. That why people are so excited that cryptocurrency is not just dumb money, it's what we call programmable money. So you would be able to do or add a functionality of the ownership or nominee or time lock or anything else as a feature on the blockchain itself. So we are yet to understand this, but it's to give you implications. Imagine down the 50 years line. The son says, hey mama, I want like 100 rupee for Coke. Mom says, okay, I'm sending you 100 rupee. With that, she mandates that, okay, it is only going to be utilized for the Coke. And now you wouldn't believe that money would only be able to purchase Coke and that wouldn't be functional anywhere else. So that kind of a smart money we are moving towards. In fact, if you look at the government's CBDC, which is also kind of a cryptocurrency, they are coming up with a programmable money. So we know how much corruption is there with the government allocation of the fund. So now imagine a farmer, they are giving some funds and that fund can only be utilized with a fertilizer company. So that is not only going to bring efficiency. So I'm touching on the point that when you talk about the nominee, it's more of a legal subject. And when you go into the practicality, certain parts are answered and certain part can be answered based on the need basis.
Okay. My second question will be, is a crypto account at the exchange linked with the bank account?
No, both are not at all interlinked with. So what exchanges does is exchanges ask you to whitelist a certain of personal account of yours, whether that is on your bank or UPI or whatever be that. So they only accept or transfer money in that account. So that's one part of the equation. Another part of the equation is that exchanges create a wallet address that is held by themselves on your behalf. And where you keep the crypto, where you have the crypto. And that's, I think, is a way of a problem as well, because we have recently seen the WazirX exchange hack, where more than 2,000 crores worth of Indian customers' crypto was siphoned off by malicious hacker due to gap or whatever be that. So it's again a problematic situation. Should exchange be given ownership or not? If you cannot give, then how are we going to trade? So I think the regulation would answer that gap of the market with time.
Okay. So, see, now people who are building different types of assets. I did a coffee with Rishira Sethi. He's into building assets through art. So so we did it in his gallery. So he does now he promotes artisans with their paintings and sculptures, and he works with law firms. So I asked him this question: okay, how do you the people there, HNI customers, are building wealth through art investments? They have got sculptures, paintings, a lot of other things. So I asked him, because this will is my favorite subject, which has become, which I'll discuss with you later when this coffee is over. Okay, how does one include those assets in your while drafting a will? So we explain about there are ways of valuing your art investments, and then accordingly making those provisions in your will keep by these paintings, these sculpture will go to whom, and you get a certificate also, the valuing certificate.
This is where one of my friend is working on a very interesting project called Oxstar. So what it does is, we know there are a lot of fake paintings as well, and how the industry works, correct? You never know what you have got, because the supply chain integrity is quite an issue, and also the provenance. So just I'll highlight you how the things are developing the space is that, let's say you have invested in a certain sculpture, you have transacted and you have an ownership of that. That's where the blockchain is coming into the place. What you do is you create a digital ownership of that sculpture. on the blockchain itself, and you transfer it from buyer to seller or seller to another seller. So in that way, not only you are able to prove your ownership with electronic evidence which are acceptable in the court of law, but also look at from where the sculpture has came, to whom it has sculpture been passed, is it authentic or not authentic. So the implementation, or I would say the utility of the underlying technology of the cryptocurrency blockchain has a lot of potential, and this is where what we call supply chain integrity and the provenance is also one of the biggest implication. Now on that, there's also an opportunity for the fractionalization. I cannot own MF Hussain painting. It would cost me like maybe lakhs or millions of dollars. I wouldn't buy it, but I'm interested in investment. So someone who's credible, someone who is able to prove to the market with a certain confidence or transparency, they can tokenize or they can fractionalize the art and sell it to the retail investor. That expands the, I would say, acceptance as well, because I might not be able to buy a whole painting, but if you ask me, Gaurav, 50,000 rupee worth of MF Hussain painting, I definitely know is an alternate asset class. So that kind of innovation are also happening in the space. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. I would love to do coffee corner with this person, because this is. I'm very curious to learn different fields, different industries, and we're very fortunate to be having this conversation on crypto, and with your knowledge and your experience. So you're adding value to our conversation, and for the viewers out there and people who want to make a career in this industry. Okay. So now, Gaurav, how has experience been working with the government agencies like the state, central law enforcement, and what advice would you give people who want to work with government agencies?
So first of all, it saddens me to see the perspective of the outsider towards the government. Like the government is lethargic, they are not doing anything, this and that. And after working for like 6 7 years almost with them full time, I realized that the government is a very beautiful organization, very beautiful organism, but the workload that they have is so much that they have their own priorities, that they have their own objectives, somewhere prohibits them to max out on their efficiency and their vision. So the lack of I would say the people resource and the time is a constant for the government, but intention is never a question. That's part one. Part two, I haven't seen anybody much smarter than the people in the government. You speak to them for 1 hour, they would be able to cut down all the bullshit and they would be able to pick the most important aspect of your conversation. So the wisdom with these people, you come up with your all tech jargon, cryptocurrency, blockchain, wallet, future, this, and they would ask very quick, Gaurav, where is the cryptocurrency wallet key? And you would be surprised. So from the outside, people think that, okay, the government, they know, they do not know, they are lethargic and all those things. But in my experience, it has been every day a surprise that, okay, they are able to think ahead of the time. They are able to do things. They are able to assess things. That's one part of it. Second part of it, there are also the downside to it. So government is more like an elephant. An elephant has its own walking style. And we individual entrepreneur, we are like wolves, we are like cats, we are like dogs who want to have a different. So mapping your steps with them is very difficult. At the same time, you can get stamped by them at any point of time. So you have to be very cautious when you engage with the government. And more important, there is a lot of opportunity for the individual people because the technology space is moving so fast and the government would never be able to evolve at a such pace. So rather than serving the government, you should think yourself as a government of your space, start building for it, and then give, hey, government, on your behalf, we have created this. And they are more than receptive because they're able to understand that you are answering the public problem. You are answering the problems for the masses that they themselves are aware about, but they do not have the bandwidth or I would say the time and resources to implement that. So when you are looking at yourself, when you are intending to work with the government, see the government as a method to deliver to the larger people. Do not wait for government to agree to deliver to the large people, because even if you have started to deliver, someday you would get acknowledgement. So this is where I think a big differences happen. I would do the good for the public when the government agrees. No, 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 no. Start doing good, the government would by default agree. So that's a seismic mind shift change that I had.
So viewers out there, the perception which Gaurav was sharing about government agencies, I hope it will change your views about the government agencies and officers. Yes, uh, you might have faced some different picture, but each people have whoever has dealt with the government brings about a positive aspect. And yes, government agencies are evolving, adapting to whatever's happening in the world. And there are people like Gaurav working with them and supporting them in the technology changes are happening. So now, Gaurav, let's recap your memories of any one project or any other project which you are particularly proud of when you have worked during your years. Any means two, three projects which like to share and you're very proud by you have contributed and it has made an what do you say uh, impact.
Of the top of mind, I could recall few of the recent ones. One was during the investigation of one of the cases, a large amount of siphon fund was identified to be placed on the international exchanges. Now the fun part is, okay, the money is there, but how you get it? So ideally, the department has to write to another department has to write to Home Ministry, what we call MLAT, and then they have to write to a certain embassies and blah 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 blah. Now this is what was the conventional knowledge or the conventional procedure that was taught to the officers. Now, luckily, the guy was exciting enough, or he was, I would say, experimental enough. He said that, okay, yeah, we are going to definitely do that. Why don't we try to formulate our own path? So what we did is we reached out to a certain Europol, and from that we identified the Lijan in India, the person who was responsible for the communication. We got in touch with the local Lijan. We spoke with them. We explained what is the scenario and told that would you be willing to raise a request to the counterparty in the international overseas, and they did. And we were able to freeze fund and we were able to lock the fund on the international exchanges without going through the years of bureaucracy. So point being, sometimes creativity can open up the doors. It's not just the creativity on the individual level, it's a creativity on the situation where you are in. You just have to experiment, you just have to try. What would happen? The worst case scenario would be no. So that is one of the thing I think that I'm quite proud of, because no one in India has so far even confiscated the funds over the international exchanges due to the lack of regulation. A. And yeah, there are more technical things, but this is one of the things that I'm allowed to speak in public.
And I was going to my yeah, I was going to remind you by you can bring tell any generic case which will allow you to share your experiences of your projects. I know, but beautifully you uh, shared one example, so we are grateful for that. Now, my next question will be Gaurav. We'd like to know what is the role of a forensic auditor.
The responsibility of the forensic auditor is much more than, I would say, the investigator, even the judge, and even the person who is handling the case. Because let's assume a hypothetical scenario where some scam or some kind of a case has happened. Now the government has entrusted the officer to investigate that case. Officer obviously might not have a technical expertise, or he might have a limited understanding. Therefore, he would engage the third party subject matter expert like us, who are free to do, who are only trusted by them. Therefore, they have been given responsibility. Now, just imagine, if I do not investigate properly, the case is not going to go anywhere, and thousands of crores are down the drains. If I investigate properly, then we are able to take a step forward, not only with the investigator, but with their senior, therefore, some action actually on the ground. That's a step one of our responsibility. B, okay, responsibility does not end here. Tomorrow, the case is going to be definitely going to go into the court of law, where there would be a lot of technical jargon. So it's the line of defense is a forensic auditor because they are able to articulate, they are able to explain, or they are able to present the case why it is, because most of the time it is about interpretation. So when we talk about the forensic auditor, the responsibility, we feel at least it's much more than the officer that has engaged us. And we take it very seriously. In our space, we say integrity above intelligence. So it does not matter how much intelligence you have, even if your integrity is not there, you are no good for them. And I think that's what has helped us sustain and go to the number of places, because we feel their pain, we feel public pain, we understand how to navigate into the space. So yeah, it's quite a responsibility, and I think it also gives amount of satisfaction, because ultimately why we are here, not only to earn bread but to ensure that other people, vulnerable part of the society, is also protected. And especially the havoc that the technology has created, especially cybercrime and everything else, the system somewhere has been laggard in terms of adopting and coping up with it. So that's where we feel more responsible and we try to deliver on our capacities.
So now, Gaurav, you are playing multiple roles. So what is a mantra of balancing these different multiple roles in your life, professional life?
To be very frank, I'm not balancing, the work is balancing me every day. It's like suddenly the things comes in, I have to give attention to that, and other things gets little messed up. There is always a delay on the deliveries. So I cannot claim that I'm handling, I can claim that only the things are handling me. So that's the ground truth.
Okay. Uh, now, Gaurav, how do you stay updated with the rapidly evolving this technology landscape in blockchain and crypto industry?
I think that is not something that I have to take a conscious effort, because that is an innate desire of mine. So whether I'm on the flight or I'm at an airport or I have some spare time, by default I get sucked into the latest things that are happening, because the mindset is made in such a way that I only identify the information that furthers my understanding or challenges my understanding. So yes, I would say that we are lacking there, but I don't think we have to take any conscious effort there. Like, okay, what is the new? Let's search something new. So it's a part of you, right? Always a learning kid, always looking for the new things, something to play, something to know. So yeah.
Okay. So my next question will be, uh, who's your inspiration or who do you follow from the world of crypto and blockchain?
Crypto and blockchain, I think I have been there for more than 11 years. So sadly, I wouldn't say in an arrogant way, but yeah, there is no one that excites me, because it's not just about crypto as an asset. It's a long-term thesis. It's a kind of a philosophy. It's a kind of a new movement that is coming in. And from India, I'm yet to see that sharp brain that talks more than crypto. By that mean, crypto are definitely going to have some repercussions. What are those on Indian economy? What kind of a wealth drain would be happening? So I don't see anybody as a figure that excites me because
Or a
everyone.
guru, a guru something. What about international?
No, everyone in international is on the selling spree. Everyone is the Viva la Revolution. Crypto is the revolution. That's a common narrative. So if you want to go by that narrative, there are Micah Slayer, there are like CZ we call. All those are good, but what they are the smart sellers. They are the educators. They are not in academics. They are not. Nobody's talking about, okay, cryptocurrency. It's good, but what would happen when it goes to the developed countries?
Yeah.
So I'm more of an academic. So for me, someone coming up with the questions for the next few decades is something that would be exciting to me. So I'm yet to encounter someone really interesting in the crypto space.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
See, you have been in the space and you know, okay, who are the contributors, because has to be looked at both sides, because this is what do you say? There are positive sides of the crypto and there are the negative side of the crypto. So who is playing a balancing act in for the developed or the developing countries to adopt this kind of currencies, digital currencies, and they are the entrepreneurs or the companies over there. The money is in safe hands. Finally, it is that we are making money and our children should enjoy the fruits. We
Correct.
should get locked up.
Magic internet money.
Okay. So now, my last question for this professional round will be: what advice would you give to someone looking to enter the blockchain and crypto industry?
Well, there is so much of, I would say, dum 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 crypto, dum 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 crypto, dum dum. There's so much of noise, so much of crypto everywhere. I just want anybody not to succumb to this pressure, but try to understand the fundamentals of the technology, then look into building something around it. Just because something has been built in the US, you should be building in India. No. Something has worked in the past is going to be worked in the future. Definitely no. When you look at the India is altogether different behemoth. The needs are different, the purchase parities are different, the ability to spend money is different, everything is different in India. So a Western lens is definitely not going to work out. Now, when you look at the crypto is just one layer of the thing. Underneath that, there is a blockchain layer, which is actually the biggest innovation. So when you look at the Israeli entrepreneurs, I'm a big fan of them. They don't do much on the crypto, they do everything underneath that. Because it's like, okay, internet has came and you are trying to build a website. Dude, when the internet came, there was n number of opportunity on the internet layer itself. So why you're just trying to look and creating a website when there is an opportunity on the core infrastructure level? So what I want to say for the aspiring crypto blockchain entrepreneur is dig down the hood. And if you think you have completed, dig once more and then try to find certain business value. A superficial businesses like just crypto buy, sell, and all those innovations are not going to last for the long.
Wow, perfect, perfect. You said. So now let's go to the next round to understand Gaurav as a person. So tell us about your family and your formative years, Gaurav,
What is my family
and your formative years, growing up years.
I wouldn't know the answer. Maybe I'm in denial, or I wouldn't know the specifics to it. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. So now you went to with college, and what activities did you take part, and what are your memories from your college?
So my memories from the college are very exciting. I bunked a lot of classes. I mean, at that point of time, Three Idiots wasn't really released, but I actually am remembering. I remember taking the classes of the computer science, just like Funsuk Wangdu, I believe, or anybody else. So I'm from a metallurgy branch. I did my engineering from NIT Raipur in material science, metallurgy to be precise. So at that point of time, I was bored with my curricula. So I used to go and sit in the computer science classes. I used to attend that. So that is one of the most memorable memories, I would say. And yeah, there are a lot of things that we did, but that cannot be spoken out loud. But yeah, just for the viewers, one of the thing was that I created something called beer tree in my college. So after the college was like finished, somehow we got to the bearing spree, took beers and hang up the can on the trees. And there was one tree that we invented called beer tree. So that's that. They are still figuring it out who tried to do that.
Okay, that's very creative. So now, how does a weekend look for you, Gaurav?
What is that?
Means what do you do in your weekend or in free time?
I haven't heard of the name weekend from quite long time.
I can understand. That's why I'm very confused. What should like? What are your creative interest in or your hobbies?
Hobbies, I gave up on my hobbies long time ago, but anything that keeps my mind away from the work is primarily maybe watching cartoons. Other thing is downloading some books, scouting new books, new academic paper, and downloading those with the hope that someday I would be get time to read those. So yeah, that's the hobby that
From the cartoon, which is your favorite cartoon, and why is it appealing to you?
I love Doraemon, to be very precise, because Doraemon takes you to the fantasy land. I mean, it stops your thinking machine. You are just hooked to some crazy gadgets and some beautiful innocence that I believe I have lost maybe down the line. So that helps me like have some me time. So yes, I do love cartoon. That's where my mind stops working.
Wow. So your inner child connects with different this type of cartoon.
Yes, now I know why child. I mean, I contemplated a lot. Why do I like cartoons? Why do I like cartoons? Now I understand. When you are a child, your mind is not triggered, or your mind is not that active enough to start into imagination. So when Nobita or the cartoons are there, they give you supplementary information, visuals to get your imagination, and that's why you're hooked to it. On the contrary, when I'm adult, my imagination is so empowered or so daunting every moment, every time, everywhere, that I want to keep it bounded with the cartoon. So I think that's a journey of life.
Yeah. So while you've been visited so many different countries, places in your work, uh, because of your work, so what have you gone for checking out those places for their food, culture, and what are your experience in that areas?
uh, I mean, recently I went to another country, Dubai as well, which is like a lots of glitz and glam and all those things. But nothing compares to, for me personally, Israel. So I had a first-hand experience to visit with the government, get an access to very privileged information and a lot of crazy, hardcore startups, some cyber unit, etc. So that's where I realized that where we stop thinking, we as an Indian, you take the best of the best company in India, where they stop thinking, that's where their thinking starts. So the kind of, I would say, the spirit of inquiry to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the things is something that resonated. We still resonates with me, I would say. So that's one thing. Second thing is at the same time understanding how it impacts on the human level. Maybe that is because of their culture or whatever be that. So that was a very beautiful mix of the thing, where not only the technological excellence, at the same time human excellence or consideration for the human thing was something that I realized quite fascinating. And most important, when we dig down into it, or at least what I was able to presume, due to their challenge to existence, they have no other option than to innovate, than to be agile, than to be top notch. So as soon as we get complacent, the demise is for sure. And I think that is one of the things we should be concerned in India, because there are so many people everywhere that we have lost the value of human life. And once we have lost the value of the human life, the human connect deprecates, right? And then ultimately it's all people that together enable things. So in India, that element for me is missing, which I think if it was there, then we could have been another superpower.
Yeah. So now, Gaurav, you have a busy life. So how do you stay connected with your friend community?
Community and friends, I think the office is my more of a community. They are more of my friends now. Everyone in my age now, everyone has their own journey, their own life. So once in a blue moon, maybe we catch up somewhere, we get time to catch with each other, then it's fine. Otherwise, the pleasure of indulgence with a friend is a long lost memory now.
Yeah, I can understand with the level or the kind of work you are into, which you must be missing human social interactions a lot.
Right. Yesterday only I met a really old friend of mine, very old, my childhood buddy. But still there was not a connect, because I think the world have become a different apart. So what you're going to discuss? There's no common theme. There's no like a interest. Obviously there's an interest to know more, but that's on the superficial level. And being friends, you cannot engage on that. So somewhere a spark of the friendship is, I think, what I have lost down the journey of entrepreneurship and doing the work. But now that is the point of contemplation. How do I rekindle that?
I hope with this coffee conversation, there will be rekindling and your social interaction will increase a lot.
I hope so.
Yes, we like to know more about your yeah, social interaction experiences. So now, have you made a bucket list, Gaurav?
No.
I can understand. Okay. Uh,
Just to highlight on that, so many times I created the bucket list, but everything went down to the drains. So that's where you come peace with yourself and say, whatever I get, that is in my bucket list. So I'm in that phase of life now. So yes, I have one bucket list that I strive towards every day, is that building a team and going to a secluded place and commanding the military from there.
Wow. Okay.
So,
So now, Gaurav, this is Independence Day week. Like India will be celebrating the 78th independence. So, what does independence mean to you?
independence means not be bounded by the judgments of the people and be have an ability to do things on your own. The judgment can be on the very different level, from your clothes to your thinking to the activity to the validation that you are seeking, maybe by having an iPhone or something else. So I think we are all slaves. The important point is to understand where you are a slave, and then removing the shackles there. So it would be different for every. Even I have a lot of, I would say, biases, or call it prejudices, or where I'm still trying to figure it out. So that's for me is the independence. Like, no judgments. You want to do, you do it. Don't be bothered.
Very true. Very true. Now, Gaurav, this question will make you think like, what legacy you would like to leave behind for in the field of crypto and blockchain?
Uh, I in blockchain, I don't see much of the legacy that I want to leave, but in crypto, definitely yes. From the point of India, so I'm a hardcore nationalist, to be precise. So I call myself tech patriot. I mean, there are a lot of patriotism. One, you go onto the border. Other things, you do not do the corruption, and there is also tech patriotism,
Yes.
wherein tech has become a whole new domain, wherein you not only have to deliver the business goal but also the national goal. So I like to call myself tech patriot there. Now, in that space, specifically in the domain of crypto, I want a legacy where India stood the crypto revolution with its own ideology or own thoughts based on its own needs. So when you look at the other country, everyone has been embracing crypto. Yes, crypto, yes, crypto, yes. Nobody has been talking about the downsides of crypto or what impact it would have. It's only India in another 200 countries that has stand strong and still trying to say we are assessing those. We are trying to understand what would be the repercussions on our country and then formulate the policy along it. So it's like having your own bone, not surrendering to the international pressure, international media, internal pressure, internal media, because everyone is forcing the government to regulate, make it legal, make it legal, make it legal. But there would definitely be some downsides to it. So India is seeking its time to assess those, and that is something I want to further contribute towards.
Wow. Wow. This is, I'll remember this. So now, my last question. Describe Gaurav in one line.
Uh, as of now, Gaurav is a to-do monster.
Okay. So let's go to the fun round, the rapid fire. Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Okay. Your favorite tech gadget?
Mobile.
Okay. Your most used app on your phone?
LinkedIn.
Okay. That got us connected and we are having this conversation because of that. Thank you, Link. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, definitely.
Okay, let's do this first.
Cheers.
Cheers. Your favorite cuisine?
Roti sabzi, basic.
Okay. Best piece of advice you have ever received?
Best piece of advice I have ever received. Your strength becomes your weakness.
Wow. Okay. Uh, your uh, favorite, what do you say, cola drink?
My favorite.
Cola drink.
Sorry, no,
Soft drink, I can't say hard drink. Uh, Besides coffee, what do you like in beverages?
beside coffee, what I like, beer sometimes.
Okay, do put a disclaimer we have to. Okay, so you did very well, Laura, and this book you I'll send it across with my autograph. Go through it and share your inputs on how this book has shaped up.
Definitely.
Friends,
Congratulations on authoring the book. That
Huh?
Congratulations on authoring a book. That's a big milestone in life.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So, friends, it was a lovely conversation with Gaurav, and we learned a lot about this ever evolving industry, crypto, the blockchain, and what is the role of forensic auditor, his interesting journey working with government agencies. He brought out a mindset whereby government officers are also human beings. Government agencies also have a human element. So we need to change our perceptions. He made us change perception to this conversation. And he shared a new, what do you say, about being a patriot. That is a tech patriot. This word will remain with me from this conversation of being a tech patriot. So all the Indians out there, happy Independence 78th, and we all are proud Indians. And this line, being a tech patriot, thanks for sharing this about. You can be a patriot in any ways, but in technology, this is will remember. Will I will what do you say? It will remain with me, Gaurav, from this conversation. Every coffee speaker shares some insights and some what do you say conversation bites, which remains with me. So thank you for that. So if anyone wants to be a coffee conversation speaker, to visit our website, theemergingindiaforum.com, fill in the form, our team will connect with you. We have over 180 plus episodes on our YouTube channel. Do subscribe and you will get such interesting conversation and learn, relate, get inspired. Be we want you to be sorry, with our coffee conversation, we can be a change maker for your lives uh, and be the change maker. So thank you, Gaurav, for bringing such insights in this industry where there is less knowledge and more hangama. So clearing all those concepts and how uh, this digital asset, cryptocurrency, has become more valuable, how you can protect it, how the exchanges are working. So thanks for that valuable information and clarity. So there are different assets building. So don't focus only on one type of asset building. Nowadays, there are different assets which crypto is also adding value to your asset building. So look to that also. But there are ways to protect them. So thank you. And we connect with another speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.